Ryuhei Kitamura, pardon my Japanese, director of Midnight Meat Train, helms the backwards chiller 2012's No One Lives, starring Luke Evans and Funkasaurus himself, Brodus Clay. Abductor extraordinaire Evans goes up against a trigger-happy band of thieves as a kidnapped heiress ignites a tinderbox of late 80s super slasher villain tropes and a bunch of torture porn, maybe woulda, coulda, shoulda, thrown in for good measure. Who will survive and what will be left of our engagement of them? WWE Studios, the true spiritual successor to New World Pictures, is an often reliable source of B action and has been responsible for the best examples of this arena's contemporary form, Scott Adkins' vehicles not acknowledged in that statement. Whilst some of their output leaves a lot to be desired and meets that level of crap one anticipates from a wrestling promotion playing film studio, the majority is actually decent genre fare and even better at times, great vehicles for some WWE superstars, with even some, like The Miz, incorporating their time playing actor into their persona with great effect. As both a fan of wrestling as well as film, it is my opinion that such ventures can only serve to boost the charisma of a superstar and even give them breathing space from in-ring performance to hone their promo skills and even explore their own characters more deeply, which could only be a good thing as the guy versus the dude versus the man and the face that runs the place admittedly do leave a lot to be desired. Now, enough of that Shop Zone talk. Does this actually have anything to do with Brodus Clay's appearance here? I guess it does at least give him a chance at more darker character work, but considering his time with WWE afterwards barely lasting 2 years, I'd say no, not really. So, moving on. No One Lives feels more like you got your action in my horror rather than you got your horror in my action, which was my initial expectation going in. Kitamura maintains a tense atmosphere throughout whilst throwing in some impressive gore for good measure, and a little Terminator iconography doesn't hurt either. The majority of the narrative plays out like a home invasion film combined with a slasher on steroids, but the main focus is Evans' character, a master criminal who loves his work just a little too much. Apart from inventive kills, there's little in this guy to root for. Such robs the film of so much immediacy. The experience watching is emotionally detached and occasionally shocked and awed back in. Technical accomplishments aside, there's no nihilism without humanity, just misanthropy, and such is the governing tone of No One Lives. An interesting dynamic between Evans' character and the heiress is the closest the film gets to being dramatically engaging. All the other events in the story lack the ability to draw the audience in, and therefore no real terror can take place, only brutality. And if that's your bag, baby, then by all means enjoy yourself. In conclusion, No One Lives is a cold tale of survival which will satisfy the niche of horror fans this temperamental film appeals to, but will most likely alienate all newcomers. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. Coming up tomorrow, Bloodshot.